Nice. And you came to Brazil last year with Sons of Apollo, right? At the
Yeah.
time, uh, Angra's bass player Felipe Andreoli replaced Billy in some shows here in Brazil
Mhm.
and the other shows of the tour. So, how did you guys choose Felipe, and how was it like being with him on those shows?
The one thing about Angra is they're known for having the most amazing world class musicians from the very beginning of that band until the current lineup. I mean, the current lineup is it's ridiculous. So the Bruno, the drummer, from Bruno to Felipe to Hafa. I mean, these guys are just world class musicians. And I've known Felipe for many years. Not We haven't really been close and tight, but every single person I talk to, and from the things I see him post to the things I've heard on his solo records, it's just been just mind blowing how good this guy is. And when there was a possibility that we would have to finally do these dates, and it wasn't quite lined up yet for Billy to be able to join us, we had to do them. There was no way we could cancel it. It would have been canceling it for the fifth time, and by then people were getting angry. There was potential lawsuits. We had to do this tour. We had to do it during that time. And if Billy couldn't join us, there was only one person I could think of, and it wasn't just because of the convenience that he was in Brazil. If we had to do a tour in Alaska or in somewhere in Southeast Asia, I would have said Felipe Andrielli. I always forget how to say his last name because of how it's spelled. But Felipe was always my first choice. When I brought his name up to the guys, they immediately say, "Oh, you think this guy can do it?" I said, "Do I think he can do it? He can do it, and then some." And then, of course, I brought it up to our promoter, and of course, he said, "Well, I was going to come to you and say Felipe." So it's always a battle of who came up with the idea. If you ask him, he came up with the idea. If you ask me, I came up with the idea.
Yeah, yeah. Paulo Barão says it was him.
Yes, of course he does. But because in his mind, because he was the promoter and he was the one dealing with every single detail, he had it already in the back of his mind. If Billy can't do it, if we have to do this tour without Billy, Felipe has to be the guy. But I already had it in the back of my mind. We just happened to say it at different times, and so yeah.
So it just made everything easier, right?
Yeah. I don't care who takes credit for it. The bottom line is Felipe was as great of a person as he is as a musician, and no matter which order you want to say, he's an amazing musician and an amazing person, or amazing person, amazing musician. It's the same, because it's he falls into the same category of who I am and what I am as a person. He's the same. He respects people. He's courteous. He doesn't overstep his boundaries. He's such an incredible human being. But then when you hear him play bass and you see his knowledge and you see his musicality of what he's able to do, then you're just really blown away that this person he's just a full package.